c'est parti, les amis. Little Nightmares. En plus, en 4K, c'est parfait. Alors, 30 minutes, c'est où 30 minutes? Oh, c'est pas 1 heure, en fait. Hein. Ils se foutent de nous. Attention, on va mettre à 9 secondes. Est-ce qu'il y a des fans de Little Nightmares dans la passe? Parce que moi, j'en suis un. Je suis un fan. Je suis très triste, en fait, que c'est pas le même studio de développement. Mais j'ai hâte de voir un peu plus. Non. C'est pas le même studio, non. C'est le studio qui a fait les Dark Pictures.
Go back to sleep, little one. The answers might be in your dreams.
Oh. Je sais pas en fait si j'ai envie de jouer d'autres personnages que.
Hi, I'm Jen Douglas,
d'habitude.
and thank you for joining us for this Little Nightmares showcase event.
And I'm Maya, Community Manager on Little Nightmares, and I'm so happy to be here, especially since we have some charmingly
Donc,
terrifying updates to share.
Donc, ils ont
We're
des
going to be
updates à
joined by some
partager.
fantastic guests who have been working on a variety of Little Nightmares games and
Les sous-titres.
projects.
And hopefully they don't go sending too many chills down our spines.
Hopefully, they're going to be talking to us about the fantastic projects they've been working on, and we're going to get an exclusive reveal of a new chapter of Little Nightmares 3 and a deep dive into some gameplay.
We might even see the return of a Little Nightmares fan favourite. Who knows?
Who knows? But if you think we'd spoil everything here in the intro, don't even worry about it. There are going to be plenty of surprises.
Oh, yes.
Right. Now, some of you might know that I've been a massive fan of Little Nightmares since the first game came out way back in 2017.
Wow, was it really that long ago?
It's literally that long ago.
presque
And since
11 ans.
then, we've been following Mono and Six through countless terrifying locations.
Qu'est-ce que je raconte en fait?
From haunted
Pas 11
hospitals
ans.
to creepy kitchens, many of our childhood fears have come to life. And now it's time to face another one in this exclusive Little Nightmares 3 trailer.
Yes. Un trailer. Bandai Namco. Et Supermassive Game, du coup. Ok, ça a l'air creepy, hein. Ok. Pour tuer les marionnettes, il faut les décapiter et écraser la tête. Oh! Oh my god. En vrai, ça a l'air chouette.
As you've just seen, the carnival will be the main focus for today's look at Little Nightmares 3, and we'll revisit it for an extended gameplay demo and a deep dive into that gameplay. But for now, I'm very excited to say that we're ready to reveal the release date for Little Nightmares 3. Yeah, the release date is here. Little Nightmares 3 is coming out on the 10th of October 2025.
Gardez la date, les amis. 10 octobre 2025.
But before we get into Little Nightmares 3 with that shiny new release date, let's talk about Little Nightmares as a franchise. I'm joined now by Little Nightmares franchise director, Lucas Roussel. Lucas, thank you for joining me. Welcome.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for having me.
I'm so delighted that you're here. And also, I understand that you're celebrating a Little Nightmares anniversary this year.
Yeah, I mean, this event is a bit special to me because it's been 10 years now that I started to work on Little Nightmares. And when I think back to how we started, you know, I'm delighted and very humbled to see how far we've come.
And you must have worked with some really talented people over those 10 years.
Yes, so many, you know, from Tarsha Studio to Supermassive Games, I had the opportunity
il
to work
était,
with
il était à
amazing
Tarsier
people.
Studio, donc le studio qui avait créé Little Nightmares, et là il est maintenant chez Supermassive. Donc ils ont gardé quelques artistes originaux, on va dire, de ce que je viens de comprendre.
And now they're putting back, you know, all that love and energy back into the games and the contents that they are creating.
I always think that's so cool when fans of something get to work on the thing they're so passionate about.
Yes, and I really want to take this opportunity to thank, you know, all the fans around the world, from a single game to a multimedia franchise. They've been, you know, all the time with us, supporting us, and they're really the ones who are keeping us, you know, motivated to continue pushing the boundaries of Little Nightmares even further.
Well said, exactly so, because it's the fans that make Little Nightmares extra special. Now, at the top of the show, we teased that we were going to be talking about some new Little Nightmares projects. Can you share anything on those?
Yes, I mean, before that, you know, I just want to say that to me, Little Nightmares is, you know, the world. The world is what is the most important because it's filled, you know, with mysteries. It's full of amazing characters, monsters, and location. Each of them has a unique story. I think with the games, we just scratched the surface about what Little Nightmares can offer. And the other types of media, you know, really allow us to, you know, tell different stories in, you know, new ways.
That's very intriguing. What do you mean exactly?
Well, you know, let's take the example of The Sounds of Nightmares, you know, the podcast that we released 2 years ago. We were amazed by the reception of the fans, you know, and especially when it comes to the main character, Noon. And actually, if you enjoy the podcast, then I think you should stay a little longer, you know, with us in the show because we will have some exclusive news to share.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucas. I mean, I loved the podcast. And if you didn't listen to the podcast, you're missing out. We've got a little bit of it for you now. Let's take a listen.
Le son de Little Nightmares.
Yesterday evening marked my first true session with the girl. Signs of significant disorder are greater than I initially thought.
Bandai Namco Europe presents The Sounds of Nightmares.
Oh!
Do you remember your nightmares?
I remember everything.
The first audio fiction series from the world of
Oh my god!
Little Nightmares.
Last
Mais
night,
ce sera traduit en
in my
français ou
dream,
pas?
a muddled voice. And then
Ça peut être sympa en
I saw
fait.
him.
There must be more. Try. Interact with the dream.
Une sorte de podcast audio horreur
Tearing my
sur
throat.
Little Nightmares.
I had no breath.
You were right there. Don't tell me you did nothing.
You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to understand.
I can't help you if you hide things from me.
My head! A fire burns in there.
We can face your
Si c'est sur YouTube, il y aura les sous-titres.
Please stop.
C'est original.
Go back to sleep, little one. The answers might be in your dreams.
Les transitions sont incroyables
Here
par
we
contre.
are in the councillor's office where much of the podcast story takes place. Don't worry though, we'll be heading back to the carnival soon for a gameplay deep
super
dive of
transition,
Little
depuis
Nightmares
tout à l'heure.
3. But before that, I'll be probing the minds of Alize and Lonnie, here to guide us through the twisted world of transmedia.
Hello.
So we've left the relative comfort of the carnival, but not only that, we've left the nowhere, we're now in the counties, somewhere far less familiar that hadn't been explored before the podcast, right, Lonnie?
Yeah, that's right. It had been hinted at in the past, but The Sounds of Nightmares was the first time we were really able to dive deeper into this world. It was so satisfying for us to expand that lore and shine a light on this strange place.
Yeah, and we were very lucky to collaborate with talented people, included some members of our communities. I don't know if you remember, actually. It was, that contest
J'ai un coup de
organized to
barre.
know more
Je fais ma
about
sieste.
orphans' nightmares.
Oh, I do remember. We did receive some very frightening stories.
Yeah, the creativity people shared was just crazy. And adapting one of those dreams into an actual episode was a fantastic experience. And I mean, since the launch of the podcast, the response has been so
mais c'est déjà en cours, en
positive.
fait.
I can't believe we've already reached over 2 million listens.
From all over the world, right?
Yeah, because we're recorded in 5 languages, so English, French,
C'est en français?
Spanish, Italian, and German. And everything we've
C'est en
heard so
français?
far was so positive. And I mean, I love hearing all the theories they've come up
Mais
with.
c'est où?
Did someone say theories? I'm here for theories. Hello, hi.
No, please
Tell
just
me.
don't ask me to explain
No.
anything. But for real, it's that mystery that makes the Little Nightmares narrative and its world so special.
Oh, je vais peut-être
and on
t'écouter,
that
alors.
topic, we wanted to talk about the podcast.
Yes, we wanted to announce that we're working on the season 2 of The Sounds of Nightmares. It's going to take a bit of time to come to life, but we're very excited because we're going to explore even more the counties and the connection between there and the nowhere.
I'm so thrilled to hear that. I've already started my second binge listen to season 1, and I guess that's just going to have to tide me over until season 2 comes along, right?
Absolutely. Now, Alizé, the podcast isn't the only project you're here to talk about, right?
C'est quoi ce
What
vieux
else is
lien,
keeping you
Gwen?
up at night?
The comic book
Tu vas
series.
essayer de me
Little
hacker avec ce
Nightmares,
lien, toi.
Descent to Nowhere, written by Lonnie, by
Donc là,
the
il y a
way.
une bande dessinée maintenant.
And it's coming very soon, and we couldn't be more excited.
That's great. Congratulations, Lonnie.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, it's been a real passion project for both of us for a few years now.
Yeah, and there's a little something we've been keeping under wrap until now. I actually have the official cover
Ooh.
here.
Oh, look at that.
Wonderful.
Is that Mono on the cover?
Yeah, he's part of the story.
Okay, all right. Well, tell me the whole story then.
Okay, maybe not the whole story.
Story.
Yeah, it tells 2 parallel stories, one set in the counties and one set in the nowhere. In the nowhere, we follow a little mute, timid girl named Hush, and she wakes up in a jail cell and she's cold, and it's not long before she meets Mono. They're a little hesitant to work together, but both of them have to try to figure
Petite
out
bande
a way
dessinée
to
là-dessus, c'est
escape
cool, en vrai.
this cold, labyrinthian dungeon that they're in.
Il y a sur
And
YouTube
how does
aussi.
that connect to the
Ok.
counties?
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away about the counties, but it follows a detective named Myra, and she's exhausted and disillusioned with life. But she has a chance encounter with a stranger that stirs something inside of her. And after that, she decides to start investigating the cold cases of children who've gone missing over the years.
Very cool. Count
C'est
me
sur
in.
YouTube,
I can't
Gwen,
wait
t'as
to
pas besoin,
discover
ouais.
how those 2 places, the nowhere and the counties, intersect.
You-
or
bah, Spotify, c'est
combine.
gratuit, mais il y a des pubs
When
aussi.
when can we get hold of the comic and where?
Tu peux
So the
payer, faut
first
pas avoir de
issue
pub,
will
mais c'est
release
pareil, il y a
in
des pubs
October,
en fait
but
en plein
you'll
milieu de
be
la
able
musique à
to
chaque fois.
pre-order starting in August through Titan's comic website or at your local comic book shops.
And how many issues will there be?
So 4 in total, and we're going to release 1 episode per month until January. And today we're very excited to share with you the official trailer.
Un trailer, une bonne annonce pour une bande dessinée, j'adore.
I don't remember how I got here. 20 years as a cog,
Elle a pas la voix comme ça dans la bande dessinée, les gars.
thinking I could make a difference.
Elle aura la voix dans votre tête, les gars.
I gave myself over freely. That's why I'm here. Sick of feeling like a puppet.
I'm asking you to give it one more go. Work with me. The milk carton cases.
The vanished children. They haunt every mind in the counties. A little girl. There's always a little girl.
C'est super bien dessiné, j'aime bien. Enfin, j'aime bien le dessin en fait, j'aime bien la DA.
For the second time in as many days, I'm on a precipice. But this time, I have to jump.
Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere. Ok. Ok.
Incredible.
Bon,
This
Bandai
is such an
Namco, si
amazing
vous
game
avez
for
envie de
fans
m'envoyer
of the
le
Little
pack
Nightmares
complet
franchise.
avec la bande
I think we
dessinée,
can't wait to
etc.,
see what
là,
everyone
n'hésitez pas. Hein.
makes of all of
Moi,
this.
je veux. Hein.
And we're not even done yet. I think Elise and Lonnie have a few more surprises up their sleeves before we return to the carnival, don't you?
Yeah, speaking of it, we're actually working on a young adult horror novel
What?
set in that same location.
Ah, mais attends, mais combien de
I can't wait for you to
métiers
dive
différents
into
ils vont
it.
faire?
Where am I going to find the time to read all of these? Oh my
I know.
God. What can you tell us about the young adult novel?
The novel tells the story of a young girl named Ruse. She wakes up in the carnival in a dark room. And
En
she's
fait, ils
there
vont
with
commencer à
two other
s'étendre un peu
kids that
partout, on
she's
va se
never
perdre et
met
on va
before.
retrouver avec un
One
Little
of them
Nightmares
is a
4
mousy
avec des
girl
personnages
who
qu'on
has a
connaît
noose
pas
around her neck.
et qui viennent des bandes dessinées,
And
du
the
roman,
other
et
one
t'as qu'à
is
lire les bandes
this
dessinées et les romans.
frail, starving boy who has a mask over his face. And in that moment for Ruse, two things become uncertain. One is whether or not she'll be able to get out, and two is whether or not these kids will be her friends or something a little more sinister.
Well, I'm already creeped out and suspicious.
Salut au fils du rap québécois.
When can we read the book?
It will be out in September.
Wow, so games, podcasts, comics, young adult novel. Is there anything else we can be looking forward to?
Film?
Well, we might have something else, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we have one more surprise for you. It's something we've been crafting very carefully behind the scenes for quite a while now. It's a project that's
Un
really
film?
close to our hearts, and I think we have a teaser for you right now.
Un film? Un film? Un motherfucking film? Une série carrément, tu penses? C'est tout?
Incredible. I'm so excited to see what that becomes. Although something tells me it's not going to end well.
J'ai rien vu!
Well, it's not called Little Nightmares for nothing. So we'll be gradually revealing more about these upcoming projects over the coming
Non, mais,
months. So
ils sont
please
partis
keep
à
an eye
fond,
on
en
our
fait, sur
social
Little
media
Nightmares, là.
channels and website. If
Ils ont passé
you
la
think you can
quatrième,
handle
là.
it, of course.
And thanks to Lonnie and Elise, who we appear to have left behind us now in the counties, for that treasure trove of information.
Ouais.
Now, we welcome to the sofa. It is the producer and art director of Little Nightmares 3, Coralie Tim. Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Coralie, what can you tell us about the carnival?
So our two friends, Lo and Alone, they are trapped in the spiral.
Lo and
It's the part
Alone.
of the nowhere that they are trying to escape. So now they are in Carnival. It is a fun fair which is filled of disturbing attractions and
Salut
frightening
Wata.
visitors.
Watan.
Not much fun in this fun fair, it seems.
Yeah, I hated fun fairs as a kid. Flashing lights, odd shapes, stalls covered in old soft toys. Wasn't my thing.
Yeah, right. And it's all full of noise, people, lights. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, I've got to say though, as much as I hated it when I was younger, this level is one of my favourite in the game. It's really cool. Should we jump in and take a look?
Yeah, yes, please, let's do it. Here we go.
So here are Lo and Alone. So Lo is the boy with the raven mask and the blue cape. And Alone is the one with the red pigtails and the green jumpsuits.
And they've come to the carnival today.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fun fair, but you will see that nothing in there is so fun.
And it's not a great day to be at the fun fair.
Non, pas donc.
It's,
On va se
the weather's
poursuivre
pretty
là.
bad today.
Est-ce qu'on peut jouer solo à ce
Yeah,
jeu?
it is. It's pretty miserable. I mean, this is one of the cool things about the level, I think. We tried to introduce a lot of movement into the space, so you're going to see the wind, the rain, thunder, lightning. All of that really adds to the atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, and look at that depth into the
Joli,
distance
hein?
there, the extent of the carnival.
Yeah, and you can see a bit more of the carnival from the top.
On retrouve bien la patte Little Nightmares habituelle.
You
Hein.
can have in there.
Yeah, the vistas are really cool. You're going to see that as we zip across the space now. Feels really 3D, even though we've still got the 2.5D.
Bah, la coop,
goals
ça me
house.
dérange pas tant que ça, puisqu'on a toujours été accompagnés. Il y a
I mean,
toujours eu
it
deux
looks
persos
beautiful,
en vrai
grim,
dans
but,
Little
like,
Nightmares 2.
beautiful in that Little Nightmares way.
On a toujours, c'était Mono et 6. On était toujours à deux, on faisait toujours les trucs à deux avec une IA. Donc c'était plutôt logique en fait que quelqu'un d'autre puisse jouer le deuxième
Who are
personnage.
these monsters we're seeing around?
So they are the herds. They represent the dull, grinding monotony of the working life. You can find them in the candy factory. But also here, when they are allowed to have a bit of fun in the carnival.
Ouais, je pense que je le ferai en solo d'abord. Parce que sinon je vais encore me faire crier dessus sur YouTube. Hein. Vous connaissez les gens comment ils sont. Hein. YouTube va me crier dessus hein, que de faire un jeu coop en coop. Hein. Oui, ma chérie, je préfère quand tu joues tout seul. À
Really
chaque
love
fois, j'ai ça.
watching the
comme
players
commentaire.
work together to solve some of these puzzles. It's really fun when you do that.
I'm really looking forward to playing the game in co-op.
Yeah. I think it's adding so much to Little Nightmares, being able to enjoy it with your friend. Because in fact, a lot of people were doing it, but like just watching their friend playing and stuff like that. Now they can just play together.
Oh oh. Oh, alors, disons, la tronche qu'il a.
So here, this house was just blocking the way, so that's why they moved the candies, because right now he's just occupied and we can go through.
Nice.
Ça perturbe les gens, la coop. Ouais, t'as vu?
Easily distracted with candy as well.
I'm not sure this candy you actually want to eat.
Do I not?
It's pretty,
No.
it's pretty
Oh, okay.
disgusting.
I'll take your word for it.
So everything you see in the sets is pretty grimy and mucky. You know, they're not going to get their sign off for health and safety on their food standards.
No,
I don't think.
it's really grim back here.
So one of the cool things we're going to see now is the players are able to use their tools. In this particular case, you're going to see Lo using his bow and arrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ok.
And we've got the puppets here.
Il a un
who
arc.
are smaller enemies, and you're going to see Alone use their tool to smash the head.
Okay, good, because I
D'accord,
hate
d'accord. Donc là, il y a un arc.
It's one of the cool things about
Oh
the
my
design
God.
of the puppets is they're just that bit bigger than the kids. You know, they're
Et la petite
threateningly
fille, elle a un
larger,
marteau,
but
donc
compared to some of the other antagonists, they're quite
faut exploser
small.
les
It
têtes.
means that
Hein.
they can be quite
On doit le
quick.
faire à deux, sinon on
As
peut pas
a
le faire tout
player,
seul.
it gives you a bit of hope that actually you might have a chance of beating it.
Okay, some sort of candy corpse pinata thing going on in the background there. That's delightful, cheerful stuff.
Là, ça rappelle les cuisiniers, ouais, c'est
Yeah,
le
so
même
this
délire.
being the sort of grim world of the nowhere, none of these attractions are particularly pleasant.
No, I don't remember this one from the fun fair.
Oh. Si, il faut jeter la balle sur la cible, ça va faire tomber le mec dans la bassine.
Oh no. He's having a terrible day.
Mais techniquement, on
Okay,
tue
so
des
this
gens,
is
là.
going to be me and you, Maya. Who do you want to play as?
Well, I think I prefer Alone with the little pigtails.
Okay.
I do resemble her in real life, so
Yeah, there we go. All right, fine. Okay, I'll take the mask. I like the mask.
yeah, you like that?
Do you have a favourite, Coralie?
I think it would be Alone, but I love them both, to
Yeah,
be
of course.
honest. And I'm really looking forward for the players to just discover
Moi, j'aime bien la DA en vrai, genre, c'est comme Little Nightmares. Pour l'instant, je suis un peu circonspect par rapport au scénario, entre guillemets. Genre, est-ce qu'on va retrouver 6 ? Est-ce qu'on va retrouver Mono ? Tu vois, genre.
The way everything is like
Peu importe la forme de Mono, parce que ça peut, est-ce que ça se passe
oversized,
avant
like,
ou
we're kids at
après
fun
Little
fair,
Nightmares
but it's not a fun
2
fair
Tu vois ce que je veux
design
dire ?
for us.
Yeah,
Il y a plein de questions en fait qui sont dans la tête, parce que moi j'aime bien dans les suites retrouver les persos du premier, tu vois. Quand c'est des nouveaux persos à chaque fois, je suis un peu en mode oh bon, ok. L'univers c'est chouette, mais genre Dying Light 2 par exemple, j'ai moins aimé parce que j'étais pas avec le perso du début. Oh bah
Now
tiens, bah
that'll
il
be
est mort.
me messing up the stealth when we play together, Maya. So you're gonna have to forgive me now in advance.
Perso, j'attends
Mucking
plus
up the
Reanimals.
sneaking.
Reanimals du coup est développé par Tarsier Studio qui a donc développé le 1 et le 2. Et qui vont bah du coup faire un
This
jeu
seems
aussi
really cool.
également
It's full of
coop.
loads of tension.
Donc
It's
c'est
okay, Maya. We'll be
dans
doing
le
this
même,
together.
la même lignée,
so
c'est juste
we'll
que
be
c'est pas
much
Little Nightmares,
braver
c'est avec
as a
des
pair.
animaux un peu
Absolutely,
dégueulasses qui
Jane.
t'attaquent. Notamment un mouton araignée géant. Le 2 c'est un spin-off de 6. Bah c'est même pas dit que le 2 c'est vraiment la 6 qu'on connaît en vrai.
They made it.
Par rapport à Little Nightmares sur téléphone,
Everyone can breathe again now. There's
ça
gonna
a
be no
pas
more
de sens
puppets.
en
Well,
fait.
actually, no more puppets ever.
Parce qu'elle avait déjà trouvé son
Not true,
imperméable
Not
dans...
true.
Et donc du coup
There's
c'est pas
always
Nono
more
qui lui donne son
puppets.
imperméable normalement, tu vois.
It's one of
Donc
the
il est
cool
totalement
things about
possible que
the
l'impair qu'on
Little
donne à la
Nightmares
petite qui
games,
nous
it's really
abandonne dans le 2 là,
important to us as well,
c'est
is
pas
that
la vraie
a
6,
lot of the
c'est
storytelling is
une
done
autre fille
in the
qui a
set
l'impair.
dressing.
Mais je suis pas sûr.
So all of the objects
Faudrait voir
that
une
you see,
vidéo,
everything we design,
lore pour
we
ça.
take great care because we know the fans really love looking into the detail on that stuff, and they're going to make up really cool theories. So we do a lot of storytelling.
La
with
date
the
de
placement of the
Reanimal c'était
things in the set.
2025, donc c'est
So you're
bientôt
like
normalement.
consciously like leaving clues in the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really important.
Very cool.
And thank you for doing that because I
Ah, c'est
absolutely
2025,
love
vous avez dit,
reading
non?
those theories.
Yeah, me too. So again, the cool thing about this is, as kids, you feel like you're sneaking into a space you probably shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I loved about playing the previous Little Nightmares games as well, is the fact that you're kind of sneaking around in places that you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
It makes
but-
it feel more unsafe.
Yeah, a bit of illicit trespassing.
Yeah.
But for this puzzle, I think we will cut it soon because we don't want to spoil everything for the players.
Okay.
Here we go.
Figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah.
Bah ouais, le jeu dure 4 heures, donc si on montre tout dans le trailer, on verra plus rien.
Okay. Time for some classic sneaking.
Yeah.
Oh oh. You, bro. Oh oh. Le 10 octobre.
Quite like the fact
10
here that all
octobre
the bright
2025.
lights are in the background. You know, you're sort of sneaking through behind the scenes in the darkness, trying to stay safe. You're going to see Alone here using the tool in a slightly different way, this time to smash through a doorway to make progression.
Handy.
Oh.
Yeah, there are different ways of
Ah oui,
using the
d'accord.
tools, and sometimes in the different chapters as well, you can find
On peut
how
défoncer les portes.
each
Très
tool
bien.
will be useful for this specific chapter.
Oh, here we another blimmin' pinata, is it? Can't
Yeah.
get enough of these.
Yeah, we quite like it.
I mean, I say pinata, but they don't usually have like dead bodies inside them.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
But we are stuck right now, so we need his
Ah, mais ils vont
help.
devoir casser ça. Ça va forcément attirer les gens.
There it is.
Yeah.
Gonna lure him over.
Ah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Nice job.
kind.
Oh, j'aurais pas pensé à ça, moi, personnellement. J'aurais été bloqué ici pendant 10 minutes. Quand tu dis Reanimals le 30
Gonna
octobre.
leave you to your pinata
Non, le
now.
15. Parce que je sais pas en fait
Oh, I like
si
this,
Tarsier
like,
en fait est en
sideshow
colère d'avoir perdu la
attraction.
licence
That
ou pas. Je
looks
sais
fun.
pas
Can
du
we
tout
have a go on that?
s'ils sont,
Yeah, it was
s'ils
really
sont en
important
froid
so
ou pas
that
les deux
any
studios, tu
character
vois.
you will play, you will
Ou
be
alors si au,
able to
au
do
contraire ils sont
that.
contents de
Cool,
plus faire
okay.
Little Nightmares, mais je sais pas. Vu que Reanimals ressemble énormément à Little Nightmares, j'ai l'impression que
Nice
si quand
carousel
même,
in
tu
the
vois.
background there.
I
Je
love
sais pas.
that.
Je vais pas créer des griffes entre deux studios alors que je ne connais rien.
And some herd queuing. Just having a queue. Must be something good. What are they queuing for?
Not sure it's something good.
Oh, well, that's
Sorry.
just typical.
Yeah.
Gwen, tu connais toujours pas Lucas? Il donne toujours le contraire de ce qu'il est à chaque fois. Lucas le troller fou. On peut aller derrière, y a pas un trésor? J'aurais été allé en arrière moi.
Okay, looks like we get to go on a ride at last. Okay, a roller coaster. Now, in what way is this going to be like a nightmare roller coaster?
I think there might be some clues in the design, but I don't want to spoil it for the fans, so people are just going to have to look really carefully and figure it
Okay.
out.
Something to do with these sinister mystery bags in the car with
Quite
us?
possibly.
Okay. Oh, well, at least we get to go on a ride, though.
Yeah, it's a nice way to see the rest of the fair.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Beautiful, ouais.
All right, and now the climb.
And for now, that's where we stop. We hope you enjoyed the journey. It's far from
Ah!
being over.
I did enjoy the journey. Thank you so much, Coralie. Thank you, Tim. That
veut
was
pas nous
great.
montrer.
I'm currently caught between
Le
the
look du
fun
jeu est
of the
sublime.
funfair
Ouais.
and the lingering, like, uncanny,
Bah c'est dans la
creepy
même, c'est la même
feeling.
DA, ils ont bien
And I
respecté
cannot
ça.
wait
Pour l'instant, tout
to
ce que j'ai
find
vu,
out
c'est
where
du
this
Little
roller
Nightmares, donc
coaster
il a pas de
takes us.
souci. À voir un petit peu si le jeu il est cool ou pas, parce que Little Nightmares 2, franchement, j'ai trouvé vraiment top. Notamment au niveau des petites jumpscares, etc. Je l'ai trouvé beaucoup plus effrayant que le premier. Et il était vraiment sympa, j'avais beaucoup aimé en fait ce jeu.
Now that we know a bit
Donc voir
more
en fait si
about
le
the
3 en
carnival,
fait pourrait être
Maya,
mieux ou
what can
encore
you tell us
juste
about
au
the
moins
different
aussi bien.
editions that are
C'est pas mal.
available to pre-order?
So before we go through that, Jane, I'd just like to remind everyone that the game will be available in both solo and online co-op modes. Plus, with the Friends Pass, people who purchase the game will be able to invite a friend for the entire game, even if their friend doesn't own it themselves.
D'accord.
Oh, I love that. Okay, what a great way to
On n'a
have
pas
your friends
besoin d'acheter
join
le
you on
jeu
your
deux
Little
fois.
Nightmares 3 journey.
Yeah, exactly. Now about those
Ils ont fait comme
pre-orders,
Split Fiction en
they
fait.
are now open for all platforms except for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. That will come at a later date.
Okay, and there are a few different versions that
La
people
Switch
can
plus
choose
tard.
between.
Yes, there are. So first, as well as the
Ouais, je vais
standard
refaire un
edition,
marathon
we have
remis,
the
ouais.
deluxe edition.
Bah là, maintenant qu'on
So
a la
this one
date,
includes,
ce sera en
the
octobre. Hein,
Residence
on va
costume
refaire
pack,
Little Nightmares 1 et
which
2.
I'm
En
sure
fait.
our fans will instantly recognize from our previous games. It also includes the Secret of the Spirals expansion pass, adding 2 new chapters, exploring new locations in the spiral. And last but not least, the expansion pass includes a costume set inspired by an iconic character from the Little Nightmares universe.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really is.
J'aime le
And
fait de ne pas avoir
for
acheté le
those
jeu
who
deux
want
fois.
even
Ouais, c'est
more,
trop bien.
we have the collector's edition, which includes everything from the deluxe, plus a steelbook, an art book, and
what's this?
This beauty.
Hey.
C'est tout
Wanna take a
petit.
look?
Oh, I do. Yeah, let me
There
look.
you go. Just
Aw.
look at those details.
Cute. I
Really
love
is.
that. Awesome.
And if that still isn't enough, we also
Salut,
have
Jardinium.
the premium collector's edition with even more content available exclusively
sauce
on the
saucisse.
Bandai Namco store.
Okay.
Which will also be home, by the way, to an extensive lineup of merch, which
Sure.
includes this
Hey.
jacket. Look at this.
Yeah.
Mais ils
I've been
sont
eyeing
allés
that. In fact,
vraiment à
I've got
fond.
mine
Ça coûte
already.
combien?
Where did
Yeah.
you get that from?
From the Bandai Namco store.
Of course.
And there's a pre-order bonus that you can tell us about.
Yes, there is. So we absolutely loved the first 2 games, and
Uh-huh.
you know, as fans ourselves, we really wanted to give players a little nod to our beloved 6 with the Dark 6 costume sets.
Ah,
Well, that's
on peut jouer,
because
on
I
peut jouer
don't think
6
any of us can get too
dans le
much.
2, mais c'est un costume en
Never.
fait. Ok.
And
dans
for
le
those who want to see even more of 6, I'm very happy to announce that over 8 years after the release of Little Nightmares, we'll be releasing the enhanced edition of the game on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. And that will be at the same time as Little Nightmares 3.
Oh, le-
Do you want to take a quick look?
I
Mais-
do, yeah.
mais je veux rejouer au jeu. Mais je veux rejouer à la version remaster du coup. Ça sort en même temps. Je fais comment? J'ai pas le temps de faire le 1 et le 2 et faire le 3 après. Faut le sortir avant. Redécouvrez le premier épisode de Little Nightmares en 4K 60 FPS. Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition. Bah c'est plus bleu. c'est en 4K, ouais. Voilà, la lumière est plus sombre aussi. Et avec... Ah, il y a du reflet. Oh, l'effet de l'eau est joli. Il y a des effets dans l'eau et tout. Plus de temps de chargement. Des nouveaux checkpoints. Ok, ils ont amélioré le jeu. Il n'y a pas que les graphismes, ça va. D'ailleurs, j'y pense. Il y a un remaster de Dying Light 1 qui sort aussi bientôt là. C'est un remaster léger, hein, mais ils refont la musique, ils auront fait les sons et ils auront fait les textures du jeu. On vit une belle époque, hein. Nos vieux jeux deviennent beaux. Le 10 octobre aussi.
Now, how did you like that?
I loved it. Now, we've come outside with Coralie to talk about this new enhanced edition. Coralie, what can you tell us about the changes and upgrades and tweaks you've made for this new version?
C'est bleu.
So with Little Nightmares 3 catching the attention of so many new players, we really wanted to bring 6 stories up to today's standards. So the first thing you notice is the announcement visuals.
Absolutely stunning, that's for sure.
Thank you. And you will see that we've added ray tracing, volumetric lighting, all of those things
Ray
that
tracing.
add so much to the atmosphere
Okay.
while staying true to the DNA of the game. We've also added new gameplay helpers and new checkpoints, and that's to make the game even more enjoyable for also new players.
So it's going to
Okay.
be a great way for someone who's like literally never played the first game
On
to
va moins
experience it
rager.
for the first time, but also
T'en as pas
if you
besoin.
did play the first game, you can kind of relive it with a new modern experience.
Exactly.
And to give everyone the chance to dive right in,
J'adore ce
Little
jeu.
Nightmares Enhanced Edition will be available immediately for anyone who pre-orders a digital edition of Little Nightmares 3 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC.
Oh, wow. So I basically need to go play it right after we finish doing this show.
Yeah.
Well, you might not have to wait that long, as I think this concludes our show for today. So Little Nightmares 3 will be out on October 10th.
Je vais envoyer un message à
2025
à Namco
on
Bandai.
PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4,
Je vais faire,
Xbox
Eh
Series
oh,
and Xbox One, Nintendo
je
Switch
peux
and
avoir
Nintendo Switch 2, and PC.
la version remasterisée,
And
s'il
you
vous
can
plaît?
go to the Little Nightmares website to check the different pre-order offers in your country. As mentioned, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders will open at a later date.
Okay.
And don't forget to join our new Discord server for all the info on the franchise.
Yeah, it's a great place to share your wildest theories. I know Maya loves to read them almost as much as I do.
Oh, I really do. It's always great to see what our amazing yet a little bit distorted community has in mind. I know I'll be right there after the show. But before we wrap up today, we've got one final small surprise for you. An early sneak peek at another project currently in development.
Encore? Qu'est-ce qu'on a de plus? Qu'est-ce qu'on peut avoir plus que Little Nightmares 3, qu'un film, qu'une bande dessinée et un remaster pour les 2 premiers jeux? Ça c'est le 2. Hein? Ah, VR!
Amazing stuff. I cannot wait to experience Little Nightmares in VR. But I guess I'm going to have to be a little patient for that one. With that
Voilà, les gars, ils
we have
ont...
come to the end of our show. Thank you
Et
so
ils ont,
much for
ils ont
tuning
décidé
in.
en fait de te blinder de Little Nightmares jusqu'à la fin du temps.
While I wait for Little Nightmares 3
Les gars, ils ont fait...
to come
Attends,
out
on a
in
fait Little
October.
Nightmares.
I will see you
On va
in
faire
the
Little
nowhere.
Nightmares
Take care, little one.
1 et 2 remaster.
Bye.
Comment ça, 3 remaster? Non, il y a que 2 remasters. Parce que le 3, c'est un nouveau. C'est le carnaval! Bandai Namco. C'est le même que le trailer que tout à l'heure, ça, non? C'est le même trailer que tout à l'heure, ils l'ont balance 2 fois, tu sais, au cas où. Tu pourrais être sûr que t'as bien le gameplay en tête, hein. Je regarde quand même parce que je suis comme ça. Alors, vous en pensez quoi, vous? Vous en pensez quoi? Genre, ils ont décidé vraiment de nous blinder de Little Nightmares dans tous les... de tous les côtés, en fait. J'ai un peu peur qu'à force de s'éparpiller, on risque de perdre l'originalité du jeu. J'ai juste peur de ça. Que, en vrai... Parce qu'ils ont décidé de faire une bande dessinée, un film, etc. On perd un petit peu le côté Little Nightmares qui était vraiment sympa. Mais bon, on verra. Peut-être que non. Peut-être que c'est une peur injustifiée. Dans tous les cas, moi j'attends avec impatience le 10 octobre pour pouvoir justement tester et mettre les pieds dans cet univers à nouveau. Parce que Little Nightmares, c'est un jeu, c'est un univers en fait que j'ai beaucoup apprécié. Clairement, le simple fait de me bloquer le remaster derrière la précommande du jeu, c'est vicieux, monsieur, dame. C'est vicieux parce que moi, j'ai le jeu sur PlayStation, j'ai le jeu sur PC, hein. J'ai le jeu 2 fois, j'ai acheté le jeu 2 fois déjà. Je vais être obligé de l'acheter une 3e fois juste pour avoir la version Enhance qui devrait être gratuite pour les gens qui ont déjà le jeu. Juste pour ça, je suis en colère. Je vais écrire un tweet en mode Little Nightmares, c'est n'importe quoi, hein. Non, je vais pas l'écrire. Mais je le pense quand même un petit peu. Voilà. Je pense quand même un petit peu. Genre, j'ai déjà acheté le jeu plusieurs fois. Et là, avec leur truc, là, je vais devoir l'acheter encore une fois.